Braided cables are a real classic in knitting. Machine knitters often shy away from them, assuming they're difficult. Actually, the happy fact is that they are quite simple. You're looking at some recent designs of mine that incorporate braided cables. Here's a really close view of a braided cable. This is a sideways knitted hat incorporating a braided cable. Everything you've seen pictured is the 6-stitch cable that we are about to work on together. You're going to love it. The work is going from here to here, but the cable is occurring only here. So we will focus in on that area. I really need two-prong tools, and I only have one plus a 3-prong tool, but that'll work. I'll show you how. These 6 needles hold the stitches that will become the cable, but every time only 4 of them will be used. One time it'll be these 4, the next time it'll be these 4. So as you see, the center pair gets utilized every time for this braided cable. Now I've just crossed one, put these out of work in order to do it. I'm putting them back in work, which is important to the technique, and we'll knit 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me flip this up just a little bit. You can see where we've been. So it's very easy to see where I dropped stitches before. So if you lose track, just read up the knitting and we'll drop the same ones. Now what, you may wonder, is on my mind when I drop these stitches, and that is creating some room to make the cable cross without any stress on the needles. The last cross was on the left 4 of the 6 stitches. So the next cross will be on the right 4. Center 2, go on the 2-prong tool. There's already a space here because I've dropped a stitch, so it's easy to pick up only 2 stitches on the 3-prong tool. Now I'm moving the 2-prong tool with the center stitches out. We're not putting anything on this empty needle yet. Now I'm moving the 2 stitches on the 3-prong tool towards the center and replacing them. And if it engages a 3rd needle, as long as it doesn't disarrange the stitch that's on that needle, all is well. Let me hold this up so you can see the cross is complete. You got to kind of peer down there, and it is. Now put these 2 back in work and let them start knitting again. And now drop them again. The purpose of this picking up and dropping over and over is we don't just want a space, we want to create some ease so it's easy to make this cross. And by letting this drop, we have done so. Now last time, you can easily see at the bottom of the picture, we crossed the right 4. So this time we repeat the same operation with the left 4. You do not have to remember right over left or anything like that. Just remember, begin with the center ones moving out, then resettle the ones that started life on the edges second. And knit 4 more rows. We're going to do this one more time, the whole repeat. Drop the stitches, pick up the 2 center ones and the 2 outer ones. Center stitches move out, edge stitches move to the center, and we've still left this needle empty. But we put it back in work now, knit 4 rows. You may wonder about seeing me grab the yarn with one hand. I have the camera in the way of the tension mast, and therefore I sometimes have to help it, the yarn that is, to take up the slack properly. But I really wanted you to be able to see. Center stitches move out, formerly edge stitches move in, all is as it was. Now there is one more step that we do every 20 rows or so, and we'll do it now. We've got these columns of stitches next to the cable that have laddered almost all the way down. We're going to go all the way down to the E-wrap. This sometimes happens. My E-wrap gave it up. That is okay. Grab, twist, and now it's back. Now I'm going to form tuck rib, which you've seen me do on many occasions. Slide behind rung 1, pull through rung 2. This column of stitches can simply be reformed as normal rib. I have 2 reasons for preferring to use tuck rib, but they are not inviolate. There may be reasons that you would like to use ordinary rib. My 2 reasons are cabling shortens the fabric a little bit, so does tuck rib, so we get a better match lengthwise. Also, tuck rib widens the channel that you're working up, the column that you're working up a little bit. And that's a good thing from the viewpoint of using only one column of stitches and still setting the cable apart visually so it stands out in sharp relief with the background fabric. There are other ways that you may use to make the cable stand out, but that's the one I'm using for this demo. However, the braided cable will work using another method. My comb was in my way, so I'm just moving it aside and hanging the original stitch, or the last loop on the original needle, I should say. Same thing up the other side, all the way down. That E-wrap gave it up also, so twist, push through, and latch every other stitch. You do want to slide your tool behind, not in front of the ignored rung on the ladder. In front creates a different look, and I don't like it very well. So up we go. When you're not trying to stay in the camera frame, this is very, very fast. But it's probably just as well that I do it slowly for you so you can see. We're up to the last stitch. And now we're ready to continue just as we were. Now, next time that we reform these ladders, we won't go any farther than this. It'll be clear where we are. No need to concern ourselves with the cast on. I'm going to hold this up in the hopes you can see. I think you can. You see that you can see a shadow on the back of the work that helps you keep track. So you don't even have to keep track of whether you just crossed the left set or the right set. Once you learn to read this, it'll just tell you. If you love cables, as I do, you may be interested in some of my cable books. This one is Can These Be Cables? They're all fake. This is Every Which Way Cables. They're all reversible. They look the same from both sides of the fabric. Great for collars, cuffs, scarves. And this is Wanderlust Cables, so named because they wander all over the fabric and look huge, but they're actually really easy to make. These 2 designs are part of a new effort on classic cables. The patterns will appear as a series in Country Knitting of Maine News and Views magazine, and eventually they'll be part of a larger book.